Thank you all for coming. For those of you who don't know, I am Trina, the younger sister, and I have been given the honor to speak, and I will try to do it justice. I could speak for days about my sister Brenda, but I've tried to narrow it down to just 4 words that bring a smile to my face, warmth to my heart, and Brenda to my mind. And you're sitting right in front of me, and I'm going to cry.
Don't look in my direction.
When I think about Brenda, the first word I think of is loving. She was a very caring and loving person, and she loved her family most of all, even if she couldn't get our names straight. I was always Fran Trin, Fran was always Trin Fran, my husband Dave was Jim. Sometimes she went through several loved ones' names before she got to yours. Brenda always loved being the big sister, and our sister Karen remembers how protective she was. Robin remembers her coming into a room to make cut-out paper doll clothes. Lance remembers her making him feel like a king, making tacos, serving him first, and he had more than he could eat. I remember she loved to tell me when I was a little baby in a crib that she would pull her chair up beside my crib and hold my hand for hours. And when she could, she took me everywhere she went. All 3 of us girls were in her wedding to John, and even though they divorced, they were always family. Then came Sean. Whenever he came to visit as an adult, she made everything he ever even thought about wanting to eat. Shannon, who remembers that 14th birthday that when most mothers were coddling their kids, their daughters, her mother bought her a dirt bike and took her to the dog track and watched her ride all day. Jason remembers her taking time for him, no matter what it was, even if it was for organized event or just taking him to play basketball. Then she met David, who was truly the love of her life. She was blessed with over 30 years with him, and she ended up with 2 more beautiful children. Jonathan, who remembers Brenda teaching him to swim in Laurel Lake, and Fran, who remembers she always handmade all of her school play costumes. Then came grandchildren, and watch out, her life as Nina began. Thereafter, she was seldom seen without at least 1 grandchild in tow. She loved being Nina. It was her proudest honor. So much so, most people called her Nina. And she loved the fact that a lot of people didn't even know her name was Brenda. Another word that reminds me of Brenda is camping. Oh, how she loved the outdoors. And she was very good at it. She could hold her own with anybody fishing and hunting. She loved the water and loved to swim. And David took great pride in telling she was the best shot in the family, winning several prizes and a state championship in trap shooting. Her tent would have a bed, a handmade quilt, decorative pillows, a lamp, a table, a TV.
Mini fridge.
Yeah.
DVD player. VCR.
She had griddles and binder clips and totes of stuff you would never think of, but she did. She camped as often as she could and invited friends and families. She thought of, made, and brought activities for the young and old. She invited friends and family. The more the merrier was her motto, and it was always a good time. Another word that reminds me of Brenda is crafting. Who doesn't associate her with that? She could make something out of anything. She always had crafty things for the kids to do, whether it was camping, riding in the car, or just when they came to visit. She had huge stockpiles of materials and supplies, but always had to buy more as she could never find what she needed at the time.
Or she said people to go get it.
Yeah. And because my sister loved to laugh, the 4th word that reminds me of my sister is klutzy. She could trip over a pepper flake. As a child, she found something to blame it on. Her shoes were slippery. She tripped over the drapes that didn't even reach the floor. But as a woman, she embraced it, telling David he could not get mad at her when she tripped and fell, because she was always going to trip and fall. Therefore, he was always going to be mad at her. Laughingly, she would proclaim she couldn't get from the house to the car without spilling something on her shirt, especially if it was a white shirt. On one such occasion, having spilled her coffee on her white shirt as she was trying to get in the door to work, she had the bright idea, her words, to wash it out. So she ran to the bathroom, washed it out, dried it off enough to put it back on, and then realized it was now see-through. She spent an hour with it under the hand dryer before she could leave the restroom. That's my sister, a caring, crafty, camp-loving klutz, and so much more. I want to thank you all for coming and celebrating the life of a woman who was a sister, a mother, a best friend to me, and so much more.
Nice job, Trina.
You made it.
Somebody get her a beer.
Shot of tequila.
Got fireball.
I wasn't kidding. We need a beer.
You got me. Stop. You can't stop. You need to stop so I can stop.